welcome back. We are going to finish out the back of the worksheet, and hopefully I'll have some time to reduce some of these fractions, because I think if we can practice that, we'll all get a lot better at it. Okay, so I set up this one. These two angles should add up to 180. I set up that one. All of these should add up to 360. Here, it's kind of tricky here. This, whatever this angle is, a couple different ways maybe to do this one. This angle right here, I know is half of the snow. So this arc is 23x plus 1 plus 30x. And if I divide by 2, I am going to get that angle. So this tip of this cone is half of that snow. So if my snow is that, I can divide by 2, and that's this angle. Plus, I know that the tip of this cone is half of the snow, right? And I know this angle plus this angle has to add up to 180. So this one feels like a kind of a trick, a twist on the last question. Okay, so I'm still setting up this equation. 33x plus 1 is equal to 180. Kind of sneaky. Okay, so I set up that one. So this tip plus this tip has to add up to 180. Pretty cool. Okay, let's look at this one. Here we go. Here's the tip of this cone, and that's snow. So the tip of this cone, I'm going to actually write it like we say it. The tip is the expression 8x minus 6. The snow is 14x plus 4. Okay, so I've set those all up. What about this one? Oh, this looks like congruent triangles. Remember, we know that's 90, that's 90. Those are tangents. We also know that the left is equal to the right. Those would have to be equal to each other if they are both tangents. So I'm not sure it even matters if we know this, because we know that if they're both tangent lines, they have to be equal length. Same for this one. They must be equal length because of the idea of congruent triangles. Okay, so now that they're all set up, this is going to just be a whole lot of algebra. So hold on to your horses. I can combine like terms, and these terms are alike as well. Ooh, interesting problem. If I subtract 180 to both sides, I get 0. 4x is equal to 0. So when this happens, people might think something weird happened. Well, let's plug this back in. If x is 0, this angle this goes away, and that angle is 120. If x is 0, this goes away, and that angle is 60. Well, those numbers make sense. So they want to know, what is angle PER? PER, if x is 0, angle PER is equal to 120. Very interesting question. Let's solve this one. How do I get rid of this 2? Well, there's a couple of ways here. You could kind of cross multiply. Another idea is, see how this stuff is being divided by 2? So to get rid of that, you can just multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So this now we could distribute. We get 16x minus 12 is equal to, and the reason why I multiply both sides by 2 is I want that to go away. Okay, so this side of the equation looks like that now. Back to normal. Okay, so x is 8. Let's plug this back in to find the angle they want. I'd also like to plug it back in to make sure I got it right. So 8 times 8, if I plug that in, is 64, and 64 minus 6 is 58. Okay, now let's plug 8 back in there. 14 times 8 is 112, plus 4 is another 116. So you say to yourself, is the tip of the cone half the snow? Well, when I divide 116 by 2, I get 58. So I know I got it right. Now they want to know, what is the angle PRQ? Well, that is our number, 58. Awesome. Let's do this one. So I get 6 x's and 7 over here. It makes more sense to move the 6 over here by the 7. And now I need the 5 to go over there. So 7x minus 6x is 1x. 11 minus 5 is 6. So let's plug this in to see if everything went okay. 6 times 6 is 36. And when I add 11, I get 47. Now plugging in 6 here, 7 times 6 is 42. And when I add 5, I get 47. Perfect. They were supposed to equal each other. Now let's go to this one. He's pretty similar, right? If I subtract an x on both sides, 3x take away 1x would give me 2x. But now I want this 5 to go over to this side so I can get x by himself on one side. Almost. Okay, so let's plug this back in just to make sure we did this right. So when x is 10, we get 10 plus 15 for that side, so that'd be 25. And when x is 10, that's 30. Take away 5. I also get 25. 25 equals 25. That makes sense. Okay. 16. I'm going to combine like terms. So I have 60 x's and 51 x's. So that's a total of 111 x's. Now these terms are alike. 70 minus 2. So that would be 68. I got a fraction, so I'm going to take a step back. Let's see if I made any mistakes here. 60x plus 70x plus 51x minus 2. I didn't copy it down wrong. Oh, 70x. I did copy it down wrong. Sorry about that, guys. So not a problem. I'm just going to put a sticky note on there. Okay, so get my sticky note. 60x plus 70x, that's this term and this term and this term are alike. So 60 plus 70 plus another 51 is I have a total of 181 x's minus 2 is equal to 360. But they didn't really ask for x. But let's double check that that makes sense. So if x is 2, this arc would be twice as much, 140. If x was 2, that would be 120. If x is 2, I would get 102 minus 2 is 100. So is 120 plus 140 plus 100 all add up to 360? Yes. Now I just have to ask myself, what arc did they ask for? So they asked for arc ML. I know all my math is right. So they asked for that, and that is the measure. The measure of arc ML is 100. Cool. Okay, last one here on the back, and I'll make a separate video to reduce my fraction. So I noticed there's a weird fraction here, and that bothers some people. So I've got a strategy for that that's very useful, not just useful now, but for the rest of your math classes. So one strategy you can do is, because this is an equal sign, you can multiply every single term by 2. Okay, now that's not very much fun over here. So this term would now be 360. 2 times 1 would be 2. 2 times 33x is 66x. But the nice thing here is notice how that cancels. So now you just have the numerator 23x plus 1 plus 30x. Okay. Now we're looking good. No numbers in the denominator. And so we can combine all these terms that are alike. Here's an x, and another x, and another x. These two terms are alike as well. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay. So let's add up all these x's. 23 plus 30 plus 66 is 119x. I'm going to run out of time. You'll have to see the answer on the next video.